Hey guys, Max is here with another guide, but this one should be pretty quick. This is not meant to be another all-inclusive Tricaru guide, as there's plenty of those all over the internet and the YouTube. We're going to be specifically looking at the defense requirements for the Tricarus and trying to break down those numbers to make it a little bit easier for everyone to not only understand, but to show people that it's not as hard to build as people think. So first, let's go over the team concept. I'm sure, everyone's already pretty well aware of what this team does and how it runs. But we're going to, run this and I'll explain to you as we go. So basically, each of the Icarus is able to team up with more teammates depending on their defense. Once you maxed out the defense, which is 3301 total defense, he's able to team up with 3 additional allies. We bring in the Verd so they gain attack bar continuously. There's a few misconceptions that we do need to go over. So the goal of this team, of course, is to kill the boss, and you'll see on the other guides they'll show you how many turns you can get before the boss gets a turn, how many turns you'll get before the right tower gets a turn. While you want to kill the boss as quickly as possible, you do not have to kill it within that amount of time. If you run a decent amount of EHP on your Vertihile, about 70k EHP, which is about plus 8k HP plus 300 some defense, well, depending on your towers as well, this will still allow you to clear the dungeon, but it'll just be a little bit slower. You'll also be able to run this team then into PC 10 because you need to take hits from there anyways. Then the only absolute requirement that can't really be worked around, there's things like the fire golem gargoyle, but I don't really recommend using that, is that these Icarus must reach 3301 total defense. Otherwise the team will just not work at all. But it's not as hard to hit once we actually go over these numbers. And then thirdly, you don't need a stupid fat Vertihile. It does not need to have 300 crit damage, be the most broken monster you've ever seen. I've seen a lot of early game players build this team. As long as you meet that EHP requirement, you should be able to kill the boss without a problem. It'll take a minute 30 to a minute 45, but it'll clear. It'd be 100% consistent. That's fine. And then lastly, the Icarus do need that defense to team up, but their damage is actually based off of attack, crit rate, and crit damage. So if you want to speed up your runs, you'll want to add some more attack onto those Icarus to make it faster. So now let's jump into the meat of the subject here, which is the meeting that hefty defense requirement. There's gonna be tons of resources and charts out there by now, but I've consolidated some of them into a small little Google Sheet document. So that'll be down in the description. I'm pulling it up here on screen just to kind of show you guys. Let's see. There we go. So the total defense that we need to hit is 3301. This can seem very daunting at first, but let's break down this number and what we have going for us. So we have 736. That's the base defense of the Tricaru, bringing that number down to 2565. Out of that remaining defense, we get 36.8 from the 5% bonus defense from the Kairos, which is the level 25 guild buff. Out of that, the biggest amount that we're going to get is from having max slot 2, 3, 4, and 6. Plus 2 maxed out defense artifacts. This will subtract 1751 from this total number. So meaning that we only need 777.2 defense from any other sources, which will be determination sets, guard sets, defense tower if you have one, and then bonus defense specifically in slots 3 and 5. And then whatever flat defense you can find within all the other ruins. There's several ways to go about getting this last 777 defense that you need in order to actually run the team. So without any defense tower, let's say you're a mid-game player and you farm a lot of dragons, but now you want a faster, consistent team. If you run 3 guard sets on each Ikaru, then you'd roughly need about 30%. I'll show that on screen. You have 3 guard sets on each Ikaru. That brings you down to about 30% that you need on both slots. Yeah, it's much more obtainable. You'd need like a purple ruin. You need a little bit of grinds and gems, but it is what it is. But what I would recommend is actually farming determination ruins. Doesn't matter if you're early, if you're mid game, but for like an early game player who's just getting into the game, you know, your goal would be to like spend a month farming water and light rift while you wait for your energy, while you're building your 2A Icarus. So getting 3 sets of determination on each Ikaru, giving you a total of 9. You should see here, put in 9. That brings that down to 21% that you would need on both those slots. 21%, which is like, it's like a blue with a grind. A well-rolled blue with a grind, which is much more obtainable than, you know, a triple roll for most people. You'd still need a 6-starred slot 2, 4, 6, and also a 6-starred slot 3, but you can work around this if needed. But if you start working on your defense tower a little bit, that actually brings it down by 1% each time that you upgrade it. So let's say you grab at least the defense level 1. That brings that down to 20% that you'd need. Farming these dungeons, you know, it'll take you a while to get the 6-star runes that you need, but you know, give it a month. You know, that's all you're spending your energy on. You're farming it consistently as much as you can. So for mid-game players, you know, maybe you don't want to spend so much time farming these water and light rift. You know, you already have your BJ5 team, so you don't really care about the fight ruins, so that's not really a priority for you. You know, I would still say to farm it. You know, you put in 6 determination sets, and that brings you to 31%. Still kind of a rough number. It's not as valuable as running the triple guard sets, but what this allows you to do is putting on double determination and a guard set on one of these Icarus brings it down by a good margin, down to 24%. You don't have to, you know, force that last determination set. You can use the guard sets that you have in your inventory. Again, just increasing that defense tower is gonna decrease that percent that you need by a lot. So, you know, I have this resource here, you know, anyone can use it. So the only other thing is that this is not the, you know, end all number that you need. If you have flat defense on these other ruins, that will decrease this as well. So let's say you have 10% flat defense on whatever slot, right? That 10% gives you roughly 1% defense. 20 gives you 2%, and then 30 actually gives you 4% defense. So 30 is about, you know, a blue or purple grind with a gem on, blue or purple gem with a blue or purple grind on top of that. Not too hard to reach, and that gives you 4% less. So say you only need 20% on your slot 3, you'd still need your 24% on your slot 5. It just helps lower that requirement a little bit. So a few other random things to note, you know, let's say you cannot physically find a slot 3 6-star determination ruin. That is okay. You can run a 5-star determination ruin in that slot. You would only need 4% more defense. Just to make up for the difference in maxing it out. So hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you found this useful, please consider liking or subscribing to my channel. This will help me make more videos in the future. If you want to catch me live on Twitch, I'm on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 PM. Or if you need help on Summoners War, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. My links are down in the description below. I'm out. Peace.